What's up, everybody? Eternal God Possibilities here. Continuing. What if Deku was the descendant of Sesshomaru? Now, before I get to the recap, I have a few things to say and apologize for not uploading like I promised on the promised day for this for this video. But I have reasons. Most of them are reasonable. Others were, well, not really. The first cause why I didn't, because some family issues and involving a family friend who broke a window. After that, some other stuff happened. Then after that, some bad weather involving power, and along with me losing internet and all that. After that, and during the time after the family issue and family friend, I need some time to somewhat recollect my thoughts, take a break. Then the weather came, got distracted, which prevented me from actually trying to start. Then, after that, I just got lazy, or more accurately, distracted. Lots and lots of times. With watching other people's, some other YouTubers' videos and all that. So yeah, I'm sorry. These things happen lots of times where I'm at. So yeah. With that, let's get to the recap. Also, sorry again, but I'll try to do better next time. Anyways, let's get to the recap. Last time I left off, before a complete recap, Deku accepted One for All from All Might. Doing so made his, which indirectly, with the level of power One for All has, it indirectly increased Deku's demon blood, and enhancing it, which he gained more a percentage of his ancestors' blood, giving Deku the power to turn into a demon dog. He went on a rampage. He met the vestiges of One for All early, but didn't get anything from it, and meeting his ancestors somewhat, and him eating Sesshomaru, but he didn't get to say anything. Sesshomaru said something that shocked Deku out of losing control. He very backed into his humanoid form, but it looked a little different, with longer hair and almost completely white, along with more defined claws and markings on his face. He passed out. Right as he was de-transforming, a huge smoke cloud appeared, with then 3 black cloaked figures grabbing Deku, saying that they'll take him back to the Master's house, told All Might not to worry. After that, Deku's mother told him who they are, and that's pretty much it. Let's get to the video, starting now. Let's start our story off with about 2.5 hours after Deku, for Deku to process and ask his mother on everything she knows of what she had those 3 tell her. She tells him she knows only the basis, like that All Might asked him to offer to train him, as well as offered to transfer his quirk to him, and about All Might's condition, which Deku somewhat freaks out and feel like maybe they shouldn't have done it on that beach. But then she says, "Don't worry," which she does. Which then she tells him that she may has an idea on why he lost control and went on a rampage earlier today. Earlier, Deku is what she says catches Deku's attention, but before she goes into details, she says, maybe we should wait for All Might to arrive. Which, right as she says that, a knock at their door, or doorbell, or whatever, I don't know which they have, to their apartment complex, or whatever. All Might, which Inko goes to the door, greets whoever's there, which is All Might in a skinny form, which he asks, young lady, do you mind if I talk to young Midoriya in private for a minute? Which she greets him by saying, "Ah, All Might. So this is you in your skinny form." Which then All Might's sweat drops, freaks out, says, "Did he did he tell her?" Which Inko says, "No need to fear, All Might. Your secret's safe with me." She then invites him in. All Might's somewhat nervous, thinking, how many people know, or whatever. She tells All Might the same thing he just told Izuku, that she had some people watch his boy for the past 6 months, and they told her everything that they were watching, and they were able to listen in on Deku's conversation, a couple of Deku's conversations, which is how they learned about, just by watching and listening into their conversations, about learning about All Might's condition and him offering One for All to him. Which All Might's thinking maybe it wasn't a good idea to train him on the beach, on a public beach in the first place. Which then she says, "I have an idea. In case you're wondering, I have an idea on why Izuku lost control, transformed into a giant dog, and went on a rampage." All Might stops thinking and just listens in, with Deku as well. From what I can understand, One for All is pretty much a quirk that stockpiles power every time it's transferred. Is that correct? All Might. She asks All Might. All Might says, "Essentially, yes." Well, the thing after quirks came into being, the potency of the demon blood over the years started to decline. That is, until quirks came along, or in this case, the quirk gene. When a human with demon blood in him, who also has the quirk gene, the quirk gene itself somehow amplifies the potency of demon blood, making them stronger, making their demon heritage stronger, you could say. Even if the person doesn't have a quirk, the quirk gene that's still inside their system can amplify the demon blood within their system, the remnants of the demon blood from their ancestors, who were demons. All Might takes somewhat intrigued, but also taken aback, thinking, so that stuff about him saying that he was that his great of young Midoriya's great ancestor being a demon wasn't just yeah, what's the word? Make believe? Yeah. Which she says, and when you, which Inko continues saying, and when you offered, and when you transferred One for All, which is built up so much power and and along with its quirk gene potency or whatever, has built up quite a bit. Doing so was able to indirectly greatly enhance the demon blood in Izuku's body, making him more to the point, more demon than human, making him resemble more of his ancestor, to our ancestor. Hence why his hairs grew longer and why it's mostly turned white, along with that, I forgot the exact name of it, but it's that fur scarf, or I can't remember. I know someone mentioned it sometime in one of my other parts of this What If, mentioned the name of Sesshomaru's fur scarf thing that goes around, that wraps around his entire right shoulder or whatever. But yeah, Deku has that as well now. As Deku and All Might taking what she says, thinking One for All, pretty much turned him into more of a demon than ever before. Though they're not sure how much he's become a demon, but the way he looks almost like their ancestor Sesshomaru, which a physical description is given to them within the old scrolls and documents they have in their family. Well, Inko has, what she says, which then after they're processing this information and done with the explanation, she says, the people I had watch over you, they know about it. The three that they sent to watch over you, Izuku, and the person they work under, also know about this. Know about what's happened today and what's been happening for the past 6 months. Or should I yeah. All Might's worried, but she says, don't worry, they're an old family friend who's watched over our family for generations now. Which then she says, and the person I'm talking about wish to meet you, Izuku. Wish to meet me? All Might hears this and says, Deku says, sure, I would like to meet him as well. Plus, we got some things to talk about. Yes, and they have things they wish to tell you as well. All Might asks if he could come with him, since they know about his injury and wish to discuss it with them. Make arrangements so they won't. So you'll find out if they will not reveal this information to anyone. Though he tries to ask Inko on who exactly it is she had to keep an eye on Izuku. Inko keeps it silent. She doesn't say, by changing All Might's question to say that she'll call them and tell them that they're ready, that Izuku would like to meet them now. So yeah, after she ignores All Might's question and calls them. All Might notices this and thinks, I hope it's not someone shady, as some villain group or something. But after that, All Might thinks to himself, out of all successors, every successor of One for All, Deku's going to become the most powerful, he thinks. This is not a quirk, but his powers maybe surpass the quirk or something. But as Inko gets off the phone, as Inko gets an answer, and the person on the phone says, "Is he ready?" She says yes, and he would like to meet y'all. But before the person could say on the phone says anything, she asks, "There's also someone here who would like to come along with us." The person says, "Is it All Might?" She says yes, and the person on the phone says, "He can come too." Sorry if you hear noise in the background. It's probably one of our dogs, but yeah. She hangs up the phone, but before she does, she says, "Don't forget to bring the sword. You may need it." Inko says, "Alright," which she wasn't really thinking of the Tenseiga, which, if I mentioned in earlier parts that Inko and Midoriya or whatever, their family has both of the swords, I'm gonna retcon that and say they only have one of the swords, which is Tenseiga. The other one is that's for a surprise later on. But she hangs up the phone and says they'll be sending a vehicle to pick us up in about an hour and a half. Which, then she leaves Deku and All Might alone in the living room or whatever. All Might asks, "Do you know who the people are that your mother had watch over you?" Deku says, "No, I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing about this kind of thing. Truth is, I didn't even know about the demon part of me until I awoken to it. This is all new to me. I didn't even know my mother had these kind of connections." All Might gets a little worried, but this train of thought disappears when Inko comes in with a thin, long wooden box which holds the Tenseiga, which she takes the box out and opens it and shows Izuku, which he remembers the night when he awoke about 6 months ago, when he awoke into his demon blood, with her explaining the history behind the sword and their demon ancestry. Izuku says, "That's Tenseiga," which All Might ask, "What is Tenseiga?" And Deku explains that it's a sword that belonged to our ancestor, who was a demon. His name was Sesshomaru. From what we know, his name was Sesshomaru, and he was somewhat of a great dog demon who had possession of two swords. One was made from the fang of his father, and the other was created from his own, that was created from him. I think. Legend says Tenseiga has the power to save 100 people with one swing of its blade. Save? Deku explains that Tenseiga is a sword that cannot hurt the living. said that it can slay ghostly entities or spirits or ghostly entities or people of not of the living world. It's a sword of healing, he says, at least from what he read about them about 6 months ago, when his mother handed him the documents for Izuku to read, which intrigued Izuku a lot, and this intrigues All Might, though he thinks maybe it's just a normal sword. But he thinks again, thinking that if Izuku here is awoken to demon blood, awakened the demon blood within him, and became the somewhat a semi-half demon or whatever they call it. Maybe maybe the powers of this sword may also be true. All Might ask for him to explain. At least Deku explains from what he knows of the capabilities of Tenseiga. About the part where it can heal people, or, well, part where it can slay ghostly entities, and that it can heal, bring the dead back to life. Though, from what the records show, it can only bring someone back once. Bring each person back only once. All Might, somewhat taken aback by this, Deku explains that it's also known as the Sword of the Heavens, or something like that. It's one of the 3 swords of conquest, or complete conquest, I think. I'll have to look it up later, but yeah. There's 2 other swords, but he doesn't know of them that much. After done explaining, and Inko says that the vehicle's here, and they all 3 of them leave. About another half an hour passed, and they arrive at a strange complex, old-fashioned Japanese or whatever house. Gate. The gate opens. All Might recognize this place somewhat from police reports. And one thing that pops in his head is she a Hazaikai. That's right. The people Inko had watching Deku is the Overhauls group. But this is before the original leader of the Overhauls group went, comatose. Before Overhaul took control. With Eri's grandfather actually being a descendant, with Eri and her grandfather being a descendant of Lord Sesshomaru's number 1 retainer or assistant, Lord Jokin. Don't know if y'all were expecting that, but yeah. During this point, Eri is there, and, her grandfather, I forgot his exact name. I'm not really going to go into much detail on that part, but yeah. They arrive, and they're in a waiting room with Inko, All Might, and Zuko, which all of them sit down at a table, an old-fashioned table with all of them sitting on, or I don't know, but yeah. They wait about a few minutes. All Might remarks that tells Izuku on where he thinks they are, which Deku takes in what All Might says, and Inko says not to worry about. They're not as bad as a group as you may think. They've been trying to keep control over hide the fact that demons exist to this day. And they've been taking care of our family for years now, though they've been declining ever since court. They've been slowly, but not as much as you would think when quirks came to being. They're mostly legitimate right now. At least the work they do. All Might's somewhat skeptical, thinking, and worried that they're in a place like this and such a group. No, the leader of such a group now knows about All Might's injury. And One for All, even. Leader of the group, what's his name? The old man comes in with his second in command or whatever, the guy Overhaul, with one of his masks comes in, with wearing wearing a mask, but not the one he wears in canon, but still just regular mask, you know. Yeah, I'm rambling, but yeah. He tells him to. He greets them by introducing himself as, leader of the Shie Hazakai group and a descendant of Lord Jockin. The one who served under Lord Sesshomaru. He explains that our family has been watching over yours for years now. Even after y'all lost all your demonic powers, we've been wanting to keep we've been watching over you, even though you lost all your powers. And waiting for the day for one of you to find for the power of Lord Sesshomaru, a great dog demon, Lord Sesshomaru, to be reawakened again. Though some of us lost hope, but I never did. Deku bows his head and says, "It's an honor to meet you." Which we see, which those two, let me retcon something. It wasn't just him and Overhaul came in, it was also a young girl, Eri, who just recently came here after the incident between her parents when she accidentally rewind her father to non-existent and her mother leaving after what happened with the father, leaving her daughter with her father, with Eri's grandfather. So yeah, he introduced himself and Overhaul, which All Might is in its skinny form is worried. It's extremely worried. And he also introduced his granddaughter Eri, who looks pretty much the same, but she has pointy ears, just like her grandfather, who also has pointy ears. Which then he explains on why he wanted to come, so he can see for himself the descendant of Sesshomaru who reawakened their demon blood again, as well as clear up some matters involving All Might and One for All, which wasn't for him, they wouldn't have such a strong, which he thinks if it wasn't for All Might, their next leader or whatever won't. It's somewhat complicated. I haven't really come up with the exact specifics, but Yeah, we're gonna skip that and change perspective for a moment, with involving 3 people. An elderly looking man and 2 uh, two women, one looking like the same age as Izuku, and another who looks like they're in their 20s or 30s. Looks like who's in their 20s. One with white hair with a forget long one. The 2 girls, one of them has long white hair and the other has black hair with a ponytail. Which the one with the ponytail says, "Come on, we gotta go search for search. We gotta go look for whoever caused all that happened earlier today." The one with the young girl with the other female with the white hair also agrees, but is not. Someone agrees with her, but the old man says, "No, we gotta be cautious." I'm somewhat, which we didn't see Inuyasha, the old man being an older version of Inuyasha, and the girl with the black hair and ponytail is actually a descendant of Inuyasha's and Kagome's daughter. In this story, before I continue, let me explain. In this story, I'm going to change. This is playing out after. Well, I haven't really watched that much of the Yashihime series, which is supposed to be the continuation of Inuyasha, involving both Sesshomaru and Inuyasha's kids. The descent, their kids. In this story, after everything that happened in Yashihime, Toa, the daughter of Sesshomaru, decides to go back to the future with the Higurashi family. And when everything was said and done, Kagome, Inuyasha, and their daughter, whose name I forget. So essentially, this all takes place after Yashihime. After the events of Yashihime, Inuyasha, Kagome, what's her name, and Toa, the other daughter of Shomaru, return back to the future. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. I lost track of time and accidentally rambled on longer than I thought. So yeah, sorry again for not uploading this the day I promised and taking so long to record and upload this. So yeah, hope you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys like the part where I changed it to where the events of the anime Yashihime, which takes place after Inuyasha, essentially, and changed it to where after the, well, I don't know the exactly, I somewhat haven't continued Yashihime in a while, haven't been keeping up with the episodes or with the manga, if they have. I haven't really read anything, but yeah. That's gonna be. So Toa, Inuyasha, and the granddaughter of Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter is in this video. Are the 3 who appear, who I was talking about at the end. What if? So yeah. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Also, the next video I will record and upload will be a new what if when I reach 300 subs, which I need 2 more before I will start recording and uploading. So yeah, see you guys later. Bye.